Donald Trump is now suing ABC News and George Stephanopoulos over that interview. Stephanopoulos repeatedly said a jury found Trump liable for rape. In fact, a New York jury found him not liable in the E. Jean Carroll case, but liable for sexual abuse. There's a difference, a big difference. That's why the jury decides between the two things. You might remember we had Nancy Mace on for her first TV interview after the This Week dust-up.
And I don't need a man explaining to me or mansplaining to me what rape is. And I was assaulted and raped at the age of 16. I didn't need him telling me how I should feel. He can't possibly understand it. But to sit there and lecture me about rape and say things, quite frankly, that open up him and ABC News to grave liability.
And that's the issue. Perhaps there's liability, there's monetary liability, there could be other kinds of liability. A. Scott Bolden's here. He's already shaking his head. He's getting ready. NewsNation contributor, lawyer, and former D.C. Democratic Party chairman. Matt Gorman, former communications director, National Republican Congressional Committee. Gentlemen, good to see you. All right, you're shaking your head. Look, there's a reason that these are two different things. You can't say a jury found somebody liable for something that they didn't, can you?
There's not, but there's not a bright line between sexual abuse and rape in New York. I'm barred in New York. I'm a former state prosecutor there, and I can tell you, even Judge Kaplan said in his public commentary about this issue that essentially, as people know the term rape as they interpret it, sexual abuse, much like in D.C. and New York, is the unlawful touching or fondling.
All right, so this is this like legal idea of sort of different misconduct versus materially
different
worse,
levels of
different
it, if you will.
Worse misconduct.
Did he penetrate or not is not the issue. Did he touch her with his body or part of his body? And essentially, that's what he was
Thanks for letting
convicted.
everybody get through dinner before we got to that.
I cleaned it up.
Okay, this is what I'm interested in, though, Matt. There's enough here to litigate, perhaps. I'm almost way more interested in George Stephanopoulos' notes, the emails and text messages with his producers about how this segment was going to go, and why, I don't know if we'll ever get to this, but why he chose to keep going over and over and over again, rape, 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 when Stephanopoulos is a lot of things. He's not stupid. He would have known the difference.
And also, as you know, when you're in the chair with somebody right there, and Nancy kept giving the same answer over and over again, as the interviewee, time's on my side. There's this a finite time in the segment. You want to make 8 minutes about this question. That's your prerogative, but time's on my side. And look, this is the point of this. It's not the point to win the lawsuit. It is the point to have an argument about this and to get really a messaging thing. And as you said, get in discovery, embarrass Stephanopoulos.
Yeah, but if you're going to file a lawsuit about it, when you're facing 91 criminal felony charges and you owe $500 million in other civil lawsuits, 2 civil lawsuits, can you win that lawsuit? Well, these are two public figures, if you will. And as 2 public figures, it has to be intentional. And he had to knowingly...
it's actual malice or willful disregard.
And he did it anyway.
It doesn't matter.
And it's too close. On the legal side, it does matter. Now, politically and messaging, that's a whole other story. Yeah. But it costs to file these lawsuits, and financially, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Much.
Well, what is it called? What do you mean? Contingency fee?
$400 million. He's already in the hole. You know what I mean?
Keep going, right?
That's the point. Like, it's just a messaging thing. He's running for president of the United States. It's about really being able to push an argument, saying, I already sued him.
But it's too close of a cause. It's a waste of the court's time. It's going to get tossed because they won't get past summmery judgment.
Yeah, but
because sexual abuse and rape are so close on the New York law. It is a legal issue as well.
In a way, we all, he's already won. Donald Trump is, because we're talking about it. We're talking about George Stephanopoulos and the like. Nancy Mace came out on this. Stephanopoulos thought he could use me in his shameful attempt to damage President Trump. It didn't work because I wouldn't fall for it. President Trump will always fight for the truth, so will I. All are on notice now.
You would agree that it's a fair question. Now, I didn't see the interview, so if he went over and over again, I would tend to agree with you. And he was shaming her and so forth and so on. But 1 or 2 questions about how she reconciles supporting someone convicted of sexual abuse, right? He said rape versus the other one.
Since you said over and over again,
I didn't see it.
We put that together. Take a look.
Rape, 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 rape.
So it's a fair question to have her reconcile it, but I'm not sure it's a fair question to him to ask it over and over again.
I asked her when she was on the program, right? And Stephanopoulos thought he had the golden goose, right? He came right out of the gate with it, and then 8 minutes he just kept after it. We just played how many times he said the word rape. the difference is how many times you ask it, how you ask it, on and on. Does that go, though, to the state of mind of the person asking the question? It may be there's a political part here, but there's also a legal part. If I keep saying a falsehood that I know is false over and 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 over again, doesn't that make it worse than just one time saying it?
Well, if you're going to be technical, saying it over and over, you have to believe that if you've got her caught up or not, you've got to believe that you're falsifying the question, so the premise is false. When you cross-examine, once you cross-examine a witness in court, you cross-examine, you get what you can get, and you got to live with that witness's answer, and then you move on. That's fundamental. Here, it looks like he didn't move on, and that is a problem, I think.
All right. Well, and the discovery would tell us what they knew and how he was prepped for it.
It won't be long. It's going to get tossed in New York. It's too close a call.
Gentlemen,
good seeing you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.